Hello, and welcome to my first ever live Q&A. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to answer a couple questions that I get frequently about non-diet fitness or how to start moving in that direction of not associating exercise with food or food with exercise. So the first question that I got from someone in my community is how to enhance how to think of other ways when my mind is telling me go big or go home and all of that rhetoric that we have been inundated with messages, throughout our life. How can I move away from that? So, when starting to peel back the layers of all of the messages that we have received about fitness, whether it's been, go big or go home, do or do not, you either go to the gym for 60 minutes or you have failed, right? All of these messages that tell us what it's supposed to look like, the rules around fitness and how it should look. So, why I say in between black and white, in between the go big or go home, let's examine the gray. Let's think about all the different options that we can pull out that are in between those two extremes of do and do not, of all or nothing. And that's going to invoke curiosity. So let's say, for example, you have an all or nothing thinking of I either sit here on the couch or I go to the gym for 60 minutes. Well, I don't want to go to the gym for 60 minutes. So all the pinpoints in between that pendulum, if we start to be curious around that, all of the pinpoints are what are the different times in between there, right? And you literally have 60 pinpoints, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You have 60 pinpoints in between. So let's pull out a 5-minute example. Okay, we'll take 5 minutes. Going in between that 0 or 60, we'll take a 5-minute option. What kind of movements can we do in 5 minutes that can open up our chest or relieve some of that stress in our neck? Maybe we can start with some shoulder rolls, just start with some gentle movement, maybe some neck stretches, maybe just getting up and coming into a squat and opening up. So some options in between, if we just use that example of 0 and 60 minutes, and this can come in so many different flavors. I either don't lift at all or I lift the heaviest weights. I sweat a bunch or I don't sweat at all. So just getting curious, that initial piece, getting curious of what are all the options in between. You remove yourself from the do or do not and start to think of all the other options in between. That is a wonderful starting place that you can begin your journey with, kind of moving away from that all or nothing thinking, that black and white thinking. So that's the first question that I get. And I can expand on that for a long time, but I'm going to try to keep this live under 10 minutes. So the next question that I received in my Instagram stories was, how do I respond to family members or friends? We're coming up on the holidays. We're going to be around maybe some friends or family members that just don't get our journey on about non-diet fitness and trying to remove that association. So I want to begin this question with some curiosity and empathy, because we all have different friends and families. You know your friends and family better than I do. I know mine, the dynamics, better than you do, kind of thing. So always choose a path that's best for you. And I'm going to give you a couple of options or tips. So every option here, I'm going to start with the comment. Let's say we're at the dinner table or having snacks around a movie or whatever, and the comment is made of, oh my gosh, I'm eating so much, I'm going to have to burn off so much, I'm going to have to work out extra hard tomorrow, right? So I'm using exercise as a punishment. That's what someone has said inside your circle. One thing that you can do, one tip or tactic, is you can set a boundary, set a clear boundary. So that comment has been said, and you can respond by saying, hey, look, so and so, I'm really trying to move the association away from food and exercise, or exercise being a punishment. I would really appreciate it if you could not refer to, food as it relates to exercise. That would be great. Next time I'll probably leave the room or something like that. So one, that's an option, setting a clear boundary, and then telling them what's going to happen next time. I'm going to leave, or I'm not going to respond, or whatnot. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, another option is to invite curiosity. And again, this depends on the friend or family member that said that. So invite curiosity, ask a question that could further the conversation. So after that comment's been made of, eating so much, I'm going to have to, work out so hard tomorrow to burn more calories, blah, blah, blah. You can say, may I ask you a question regarding that? Where'd you learn that you have to, in order to eat, you have to burn a lot of calories? Because I'm trying to work on stepping away from that. So curious to know where you learned that. And what this does is it could pull them out of the, rabbit hole that they are in as well, and invite curiosity. Maybe it leads to a conversation that you didn't know you could have with that family member about your journey, in removing, fitness talk with food and all of that stuff. But again, that's going to be, you decide if that feels comfortable for you to ask. The third tactic or tip that I have for, um, responding to friends or family members is redirection or humor. I'm a big fan of humor. I love making people laugh. I love sarcasm, all of that thing. Sarcasm might not be the best tool right now, but one thing is, that I thought of with this specific comment is, okay, comment. I need to burn so much, blah blah blah, in order to do this, and you respond with, "Huh, burning? Oh my goodness." I remember this one time I was cooking, and just I left the oil, and I burned, the fire detector went off, and the whole house, the fire alarm went off. Little did I know there was a fire alarm around the whole house. So the whole neighborhood got alerted when I burned this food. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can have, that was a true story that happened to me. So yes, there was an alarm on the neighbor, or around the neighborhood, that our house specifically, it went off, and I was like, oh my gosh. So, but you can redirect it in a way to, like, they're like, that's not what I was talking about at all. And maybe they'll pick up a little bit on the message of, hey, she or he, or they're not feeling comfortable with this conversation, and maybe I won't mention it again, or that's not even what I was talking about. But you have redirected the conversation to something completely different, which can, you know, go in any direction that you want, after that. Wrapping those up, A, you can be direct, set boundaries. B, you can invite questions if you feel comfortable with them, to further curiosity around the non-diet relating to fitness, talk. And then 3, redirect or put in humor somehow. The last thing, a lot of people will ask in training or sessions is, how can I further listen to my body? And that seems to be kind of a question that not only gets asked often, but it's kind of loaded. There's a lot of stuff that can listen to your body. What does that even mean, listen to your body? How do I even begin to listen to my body? So one exercise that I have done before with clients that I would like to invite you to, if this is something that you feel comfortable doing, is an exercise that I was taught in physical therapist assistant school. So I'm going to set it up, and then we'll do it on our own. Um, in physical therapist assistant school, one of the settings that we learned about was inpatient care, which people will sometimes be, supine, or lying down for a long period of time and not able to move, and for whatever reason, and you have to move them every 20, 30, 40, however many minutes, to prevent them from getting bed sores. So you will actually find a place where your bone. Okay, I'm going into it, but people are immobile for some reason. and you have to physically move them. So with this exercise, what we did was we all sat in our chair. Our instructor said, I want you to find a place, location, you can lie down, you can sit down, whatever, and we're not going to move for 5 or 10 minutes. Now, we're not going to do that today. We're going to do 30 seconds. Let's do 45 seconds. So find a spot, any spot, wherever you can sit in your chair. And what you're going to do is you're going to find a place where you can kind of sit comfortably. And we're going to hold this position for 45 seconds without moving. So the only thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through this. So I'm going to move my lips and I'm going to watch on the clock. So when it hits to be about 11 minutes, trying to be immobile. Don't wiggle your toes. You can obviously breathe. Don't move. Move. So picture doing this for 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to do about 10 more seconds. I'll count down. 9, 5, 2. Question that I want to ask you. I obviously did it, but what is the first thing that you want to do? After being told that you have to sit still for a minute, what's the first thing that you want to do? You want to change position. You want to move. You want to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, open your eyes, move your neck. Your body is like, I want to get out of this position. I want to move. So this is one exercise in regards to listening to your body. How did that feel? Being told that you had to be, sit still like a statue. And then what did it feel like when you could release that? Just some curiosity questions. I'm a big fan of asking questions more than of telling people what to do. So we were made for movement, and movement was made. We're made for so much more. So beyond aesthetics, beyond what our body movement for what our body looks like. And this is just something that can help you understand your body craves movement. You move all the time, so creating that piece. Okay, this went over 10 minutes, but thank you if you did watch this whole thing, thank you so much for sticking around and for being a part of this community. I do one-to-one clients, Fit Ragamuffin, Jamie. I do one-to-one clients. There's a wait list right now for that. I have a subscription, a movement channel out. If you are interested in that, fitragamuffin.com is where you'll get all these services, and starting up with group fitness again in January 2020. So if you're curious about that, again, that's on my website, fitragamuffin.com, virtual group fitness. I hope that this has helped you, give you some sort of nugget that you can take away with that'll keep you inviting curiosity, because that's the key. All right, I'll see you all next time.